how can prayer actually change the outcome of what God already knows is going to happen? That's what one person said. And somebody else said, well, what about C.S. Lewis and his famous line that prayer doesn't change God, but it does change me? And I read somebody else said, well, there's Nebuchadnezzar. Don't forget him. He asked for a longer life, and God gave it to him. And Jesus, who changed the water into wine to save the wedding at Cana, even though he knew that his time for miracles had not yet come. And what about all those people out there who swear their prayers have been answered? What about that song that Randy Travis sings? When Mama prayed, good things happened. When Mama prayed, lives were changed. Not much more than 5 foot tall, but mountains big and small went crumbling down when Mama prayed. People don't waste time writing songs about prayers that didn't work. And communities don't sponsor breakfasts at the Hilton to celebrate that life is a crapshoot.
And now we're the largest gang intervention program in the United States. We didn't intend to be that. We just sort of backed our way into it. Tattoo removal, 4,000 treatments a year, a magnificent school. Learning Works over there, represented in the rowdiest table when you announce the high schools. And case management, mental health services, you name it, we do it. 5 businesses: Homeboy Bakery, Homeboy Silkscreen, Homeboy Homegirl Merchandise, solar panel installation training program, and a Homegirl Cafe where women with records, young ladies from rival gangs, waitresses with attitude will gladly take your order.
Now the interesting thing is, how big is this image in the night sky? Imagine that you're standing away from LA, looking through an 8-foot straw, and the piece of sky that you see is the size of the image that you're looking at right here. And so you have to take 13 million of these in order to get the full image of the night sky. And so I love this image. So when people say to me, well, this is the size of the universe that we live in, and I think this describes it very well. When people say to me, as a Christian working at JPL, how has your work affected your faith? I say, and I don't think you'll be surprised, it has increased my view of God in every way. It has increased my view of God's power. It has increased my view of God's immensity. It has increased my view of God's eternal aspect.
Some time ago, Oscar-winning actress Diane Keaton showed up for lunch. She of Annie Hall and Godfather movies. She had never been there before. She was there with a regular, a guy who's there once a week. And her waitress this day is Glinda, a homegirl, been there, done that, tattooed, gang member, parolee, felon. She doesn't know who Diane Keaton is, and so she's taking her order, and Diane Keaton says, "What do you recommend?" And Glinda rattles off her 3 platillos that she particularly likes, and Diane Keaton says, "Well, I'll have that second one. That sounds the best." And then something dawns on Glinda at that point. She looks at Diane Keaton. She says, "Wait a minute, I feel like I know you, like we've met somewhere." And Diane Keaton sort of humbly deflects it, "Oh gosh, I don't know. I suppose I have one of those faces that people think they've seen before." And Glinda looks at her and says, "No, now I know. We were locked up together." That just took my breath away when I heard
it. We may not know exactly how prayer works, but we know that it matters. And when Mama prays or when Pasadena prays, good things happen. Because somewhere in the human heart, as long as people have had hearts, there has been a longing to connect with the source of all that is good, the source of all that is love, the source of all that is powerful. And how and why this happens is a fascinating doctrinal and theological mystery that I would love to explore this morning, but it's really just too early. And as a matter of fact, one of my prayers in the months leading up to this day was that you would change it to the mayor's prayer brunch. But the answer was no.
Hope, singing the song without the words and never stopping at all. There is only one delivery system I know of to deliver hope to kids for whom hope is foreign, to places in our cities and in our state where there's a lethal absence of it. There is only one delivery system for hope, and you happen to be it.